Hi guys, this is Annie. I hope you all are doing great tonight. And tonight I have the sunset manicure for you. I hope you enjoy it. So stick around and let's get started. And these are the items that I will be using in tonight's video. They will also be listed in the description box for you if needed. I'll go through them very briefly. Here I have my roller tape brush that I used to clean my stamper with, some acetone. I have some masking tape and some scotch tape here for tonight's manicure, my nail polishes in the color of white, green, orange, yellow, and my stamping polish in black together with my top coat. I also have two stampers tonight, one for the stamping plate and one to do my gradient. If you don't have this, go ahead and grab yourself a cosmetic sponge. That will be just as good, or even an eyeshadow brush. That would be great. And I also have my stamping plate, my scraper, and my tools is a pair of tweezers that I'll be using since I'm using liquid latex on my nails. If you're not using latex, you don't need this. I have my nail polish pen remover here and my cotton on my cotton claw. So now that we have everything ready, let's get started. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have already gone ahead and polished some of these nails tonight, and the reason for that is this is a pretty cool manicure, but it does take some time. So I am going to go through the steps I did with you, but I'm only going to go through them in two nails, okay? So to begin with, I already polished my base color, which was actually white, and I did one coat. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to do a heavier base on that, you can go ahead and you can do two coats of that, but I just use my pop-arazzi white here, which is not a very white, and I went ahead and did all 10 nails in that color and let that dry thoroughly. And the next thing I did was I did my gradient. And since this is the accent nail, I only did this in two gradient colors, and we are going to do the same two colors for all the other nails, except we're going to put a piece of tape on this one. And the reason for that is because that one is going to have the water as we do on these here, as you could see. So it's the sunset and then the water, and then you stamp the image over. So I'll show you how I did the gradient with the water. So remember that masking tape that I showed you on the things you'll need? Go ahead and cut yourself a couple of these about this size, and you're going to cover it about maybe halfway down the nail, halfway to 1/3, because you want to have that image lined up very well. And I found it easier to line that up really well. Put the masking tape down like this. Make sure there's no holes or bubbles on the nail, and then double it around and stick it so it's stuck to each other like that, so it doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't try to open out on you when you're doing your gradient, and that really helps it from seeping through. So now we're going to do the gradient, and for that I have my little sponge here. And like I said, that if you don't have one of these, you can go ahead and you can use a makeup sponge or the eyeshadow sponges. Those work really well also. And I like to do my gradient like such, like most people do. You know, you start with one line, and being that this is just one tiny little pinky nail I'm going to do the gradient of, I don't need a lot of nail polish. And then we have the yellow, and I like to overlap that on some of the orange and then go ahead and get that dark yellow in. And some people like to go ahead and start patting it in right away. I actually like to press it down and let the polish go on the nail and then see what happens, and then I work from there. So now I start my patting process. Go ahead and you pat until you get that gradient in. And we need a little more, so we go back in and we do the same thing until you get that desired look. That seems much better, so now I'll go ahead and I'll start patting it in. And that should be good enough. Perfect. So at this point, I am going to go ahead, remove that masking tape, and it's probably going to peel up my latex as well. Yep, All right, so we remove that. And on that white, that's where I am going to apply my green, or you could use navy blue as well for the water. I chose to use the green because when I use the navy blue, you don't see that black image once you stamp on there too much. So at least with the green, you could still see it pop just a little bit. So you can choose whichever color. This is just the ones that I've chosen tonight, and I like the combination of these colors. And then I'm going to take this, and right where that gradient ends, just go ahead and draw a nice clean line. And if you're not good with lines, you can also get yourself some striping tape and create a nice little line right on top of that gradient once it's dried, and that will be your water. So now that we're going to wait for this to dry, let's work on this one. So as you could see, all of these has water, and I said this is the accent nail. I wanted to keep that just a little different and not have the green on there. So this is what it looks like, and we have the trees at the bottom, one little tree and piece of one here, and the birds on top. So that's what we're going to do. The imaging plate that I'm using tonight is from Bondle Monster, and this is called the Beaching Nails Model Plate, and that number for this plate is BMXL204. Very, very beautiful images on this plate. And just to show you, the one that I am using is the water. So what I'll take from this now, I have to hold it this way so I can see what I'm doing. I am going to take the trees and the birds on top, just the trees. I'm not going to do the water, just the trees tonight. I actually have to flip it this way so I can work with it. I'll do the trees first. Nice clean scrape. And there it is. And the next thing you have to be very careful of is you have to line that up really well to the bottom. So go as low as you can in the base of the nail, and you roll your tree on. So there's one, there's the other one, so I'm going to line it up again. And there's the other trees. Now at the bottom there you see that orange, don't worry about it. You go back with your black and you draw a little bit of a line, but you're trying to get it a little bumpy so it looks like land at the bottom there. Doesn't have to be a perfect line. As a matter of fact, if you put a little bump or two, it makes it look like the earth underneath there. So that's the trees, and now we're going to take the images of the birds to the side here. So let me clean the stamping plate. And as you can see, there's the little birds on top here. I know you're looking at this upside down here. I'll spin it really quickly. I'm going to take these little birds off, and that's what we're going to apply to the top of the image here. I have to do this one over because only one little bird came out. Let's see if I can get them all, because it is a very, very tiny image, so I do want to get them all in here. So let's try that again. I'll go a little heavy-handed this time with the nail polish. See if that works. Yep, there it is. And I'll line them up this way. I'll put some right here. There's some of the birds flying, and I'll put two of them here. And that one is done. So right away, we can go ahead and apply the top coat to seal that in. But first, let's take that latex out because that tends to throw stuff back on sometimes. So let's remove that latex really quickly, and the extra one that's closer to my nail here. And then we'll top coat this nail right away. And I'm using my fast drying top coat. I love this thing. It's really, really good, and it does dry the nails really, really quickly. So I don't have to sit there for a very long period of time. And as you can see, when I am applying the top coat, I am using a generous amount of top coat. You don't want to smear those images, and always cap the bottom of your nails to keep the image on longer. It prevents chipping off the nail polish from the bottom down. So there you have the accent nail. Let's go ahead and move on. So to this one, the image that I'm gonna put is from the same one, but I think I am going to use some of the watercress here. We'll make that the same image that I've done here. So as you can see, we'll use this part of the image. This is a really pretty plate. I love the images on this. They come with 3 scenes on it. As you can see, one is water, the other one is a field of some sort, and the other one looks like a farm. So this is a really, really pretty plate for images like this. And we have to do this one over again. Nail polish is drying up very, very quickly tonight. It's a little bit cool in here, that's why. And there it is. Now the one thing you have to do is make sure that this line is lined up at the bottom of your nail. So here it is, and I'm going to do this grass over the water. So I'm going to line it up right here. And just roll it on gently. And there we have it. And again, we'll go through this with the top coat. Cap the nails, and we can clean up right away. And tonight, for my cleanup, since I don't have a lot of mess, I'll be using my nail polish remover pen. You can use a little brush if you have it with some nail polish remover, and just go in and clean up the sides that has extra polish from the gradient or the stamping. Just make sure not to hit the walls of your nails itself, because that will definitely remove the image as well as the color from the gradient work that you've done. That's it, guys. We're all done. This was definitely one of my favorites that I've done so far. I love the colors of this. I choose to use this color because I was actually looking at the sunset last night from the beach, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So I tried to get the colors that I saw for the sunset, and it came out pretty close to what I saw. Again, I choose to use green for the water because I've tried navy blue and it just hid the stamping image. So if you want, you can play around with colors and see what they look like on this. And the colors will be listed at the bottom. If you like these bright colors, I will have everything listed in the description box for you, so you can check it out down there if you need details on everything that I've used on tonight's video. So that's it, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this video tonight, and if you have any question, like always, you can feel free to write to me and I'll answer them as best as I can. Thanks for watching, guys, and and don't forget to subscribe as well for my upcoming videos. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.